Yeah, so that's the finger picks. They actually have finger picks that there's, oh God, there's all kinds, including there is a finger pick that allows you to do that.
Right.
Right? Yeah. It's called the I don't know what they're called, but anyway.
The slide itself?
The slide over here, this is a neck of a bottle.
You don't buy them already made?
Yeah, I do buy them already made. I have a number of these slides. I used to sell them, as a matter of fact, but the guy that made them for me died. So I only have about 12 of these left. They were made by a guy from Tucson, Arizona named Jerry Glumbecki, who really knew what this was all about. But this is the neck. This particular blue one is the neck from a bottle of Italian mineral water. But you can use a lot. The idea is to get glass with a high lead content, so it has a lot of weight per unit volume. And your slide should have a little weight. There are certain slides that are on certain brands, like you see them on display on the music store, right? And they're made of Pyrex, right? They have very thin walls and they're very light. They're made of Pyrex, laboratory glass. You'll have problems with those getting good, thick, fat tone out of your guitar because they're not heavy enough and they don't have enough surface property. I like really leaded glass, right? Because it just it sits on top of the string, right? The other thing you can use for a slide is metal. Brass is good, right? And there are lots of commercially made brass slides, or copper, or you can just, my very first slide when I was a little kid, I just cut myself off a piece of 3/4 inch plumbing conduit and played with that. Just smoothed out the edges with sandpaper and did it.
So is there a big difference in sound whether you use metal or brass?
Not a big difference, but yeah, there is a difference. There's also a little bit of a difference in the way they perform. I like to use glass because I have an easier time especially because I play these guitars, these resophonic guitars. California, everybody, right? Okay, is it time for, do you still have California pride or have you gotten over that? Okay, these guitars are made in California, completely made in California, in San Luis Obispo, right? Not only made in USA, but right here, right? And these are Nationals. This is it. This is the prototypical resophonic guitar. It's either a National or it's a guitar that's sort of like a National, is basically what we're talking about. And but anyways, yeah. So I have no problem getting volume and a lot of high end out of my guitar. You know, like the kind of sharp attack that you want from slide guitar, it delivers. What I like is a more complex sound, and I associate that with glass. And so metal, you know, gives you a harder sound, but it depends on, you know, on the player. And everybody's has different demands out of their slide. Muddy Waters, for instance, use a very little. I used to watch him very closely when I was a kid. I saw him play many times, and he used a piece of stainless steel conduit pipe for his slide that was about that big, very small, right? Howlin' Wolf, the first time I heard him play, you know, he was playing mostly harmonica and, like, you know, doing triple tuck rolls across the stage and coming up with coming out with a harmonica stuck down his throat and the harmonica coming out of the zipper of his pants, swinging it around like this, and I was going, yeah, I think I got it. Anyway, but he was a great slide guitar player. He didn't record on it much, but Little Red Rooster, that's him. Meet Me in the Bottom, that's him playing slide guitar. So I used to like wait through his shows for when he would play, and I remember the first time I heard him and the band starts dun, 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 and I was going, okay, down in the bottom, he's going to do it, right? He picks up his Goya Rangemaster, right, with more switches than Desi Arnaz's bathroom, you know, and stuff like that on it. And then he reaches down into the pocket of his pants, old man pants that went down to his knees. I'm going, this guy is so cool. And then he pulls out a piece of plumbing conduit about that long. You could have used it as a murder weapon, and just went, ah, you know. So the kind of slide you use is. There's a guy here in Los Angeles, I think, has a company called Slide Devil, right? I don't know much about it, but he makes slides like this, Bottleneck slides. And I think there's a number of people doing this now. Mine were made by Jerry Glumbecki, and he died. But anyway, that's all that is the neck of a bottle.
Is that because you drink mineral water with lead in it?
No, I mean, I always wonder what's going to happen to me, you know, and then they say, yeah, it was like lead poisoning. As far as we know, it started in the fourth finger of his left hand, right? Oh, God.
You said you've got the edge of the flares. You have an inside spring with it?
No, yeah, I have the edge of it beveled. The end of the slide is beveled and polished so that I can. So if I just want to play the third string and leave the first string open, right? Because, you know, one of the things about slide guitar is doing this. Everybody has a tendency to do like just slap the slide down across the strings and then move it around. Fun, you know, but and also there's a real tendency on slide guitar to play out of tune, right? Some of the most popular slide guitar motifs, okay, Free Bird, right? The slide guitar part on Free Bird by Leonard Skinner. Whoa, it's like, dude, pull that up about 3 cents, man. You know, it's the tonic. But, you know, there it is, the Rolling Stones, legendary for out-of-tune slide guitar. And who's another guy that plays that really doesn't quite get to the object note? A very popular slide guitar player, George Thorogood, right? And he's always, you know, not too, you know, that's supposed to be a G. That's supposed to be a D there, dude. You know what I mean? That's a G chord. That's supposed to be a D. And but you know, but actually, if you listen to the great slide guitar players like Tampa Red, Blind Willie Johnson, the gospel guy from Marlin, Texas, who recorded in the 20s, you know, stuff like that, their pitch control is scientific. You know, their control of pitch and pitch modulation. Well, yeah.
Was Furry Lewis originally from Memphis?
He was from Greenwood, Mississippi. He moved to Memphis with his family when he was a little boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I missed the introduction. I just want to know who you are.
Oh, my name is Steve James. And we've got to bring this workshop to a close because Gonzalo is going to be here in a minute. This guy's the most amazing guitar player. I can't believe he's here. Yeah, we'll bring this workshop to a close. However, stevejames.com is the website. And steve@stevejames.com is my email address. And I know it sounds like disingenuous when I say, if you email me and you want to start a conversation about, I don't go to chat sites and I don't do BoobTube or MyFace or anything like that, right? But if you email me and you want to have a conversation or a question or something like that about guitar, I will answer that email. I like to hear from people, and I hate computers and, you know, that whole mode of communication, except for that, right? Anything that has to do with the international network of, you know, peace and love through guitars, I'm into it. So if you want to get a hold of me, I live in Austin, Texas, but I live on the road. So it might take me a while to get back to you, and if you're thinking about buying a guitar, here's another thing a lot of people do, and this is an impediment not only to slide guitar, but all styles of guitar. If you're thinking about buying a guitar, but you have some trepidation about doing it because you think you can't afford it, get a hold of me. I'll talk you into it. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and make room for another workshop. This is wonderful to be here. Thank you.